The following content contains discussions and depictions of drug use, addiction, and its consequences. Viewer discretion is advised, especially for younger audiences and those who may find such topics distressing. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, please seek help from a professional organization or contact a local support group. Canonicity Advisory. This video deals with speculation. Helldivers 2 is a live service game. The continuity is always developing, and contents discussed may be disproven or made redundant by the time you view this video. We love drugs, in particular combat stims. I'm going to cut straight to the chase. The combat stim is not regenerating grievous combat wounds. Healing is a slow process which could take up to 2 years to complete, with 4 major stages: hemostasis, inflammation, proliferation, and remodeling. Hemostasis is the immediate phase after injury when clotting occurs and growth factors are released. It's also the most important stage for our topic, followed by inflammation being the second phase of healing. Blood vessels open up to increase blood flow. This is that red swelling that follows an injury, your body working to remove debris and dead cells. White blood cells, called macrophages, fight infection and send out chemical messengers to help repair the wound. Proliferation and remodeling are important, but not when your lifespan is measured in hours, with proliferation taking weeks to months and remodeling taking years. For these reasons, I have no confidence in the theory that stims ever regenerated grievous wounds. It's just impractical and it makes no sense. Healing draws a tremendous amount of energy, calories, minerals, and vitamins. We just don't notice this because our bodies draw this deficit out over time. That's not even the worst of it. In a typical medical environment, when nutrients cannot be digested orally, they'll be put through IV nutrient therapy. The patient would be intravenously connected to an IV bag that would feed nutrients directly into the circulatory system in a digestible way. We need a lot of essential vitamins and minerals, ones like zinc, which is in pretty much everything from your DNA to your individual cells, vitamin A, which is important for bone and tissue growth, vitamin C, which is responsible for mechanisms associated with tissue elasticity, and vitamin E, which is essential for skin health. That's not even mentioning the building block proteins and calories that actually fuel the recovery, but the one thing you will never ever have in the middle of a combat situation is blood. You have a lot of debris and dead cells to clean out, months to years worth. We can jack up your heart rate to superhuman levels, but without new blood, you would surely die from a heart attack, if not liver and kidney failure. So with this all said, here's what we have. Hemostasis and inflammation are our targets. We cannot accelerate healing. We cannot introduce new blood. It has to be digestible, even if only temporarily, and must be able to stop hemorrhaging. This is all great, but we still must discuss our delivery method, the stim itself. Our basis will be this clip here. Look at the angle and the force of approach. Look how the hand grasps the stim. There is no mechanical intervention on behalf of the Helldiver. This is an auto-injector, like an EpiPen, you know, blue to the sky, orange to the thigh. Distinguishable by the clear pop top, even if it's missing the distinguishable blue. The needle always appears to be erect in footage, but that's just the Ministry of Truth's propaganda. That's a hypodermic needle. They're precision sharpened for ease of penetration. They need to be protected. There's a whole series of mechanisms in an auto-injector, but the idea behind them is safe, quick to use, and disposable, with typically a pretty small payload like adrenaline. Going back to that clip, we know that the trajectory is about 90 degrees. That makes the stim a intramuscular injector, meaning it's intended to be injected into the muscle. That's important because muscle injections are slower moving, being distributed via capillaries rather than straight into the circulatory system. From what I can tell, the stim can inject into any of the muscle groups highlighted on screen, but I believe the target muscle is the sternocleidomastoid, as when we inject, we tilt our heads outwards, expressing it. The trapezius is also a likely candidate, being a thick muscle that's also close to the sternocleidomastoids. Regardless of where we inject, the neck is because it's the closest to the brain. If we were intravenously injecting, this wouldn't be a consideration, but as we are injecting intramuscularly, that short distance makes all the difference. So then, what does all this have to do with hemostasis and inflammation? Well, seeing as the method of injection is intramuscular, the response is not intended to be immediate, and that's probably by design. I don't think it's any secret that Super Earth loads these stims up with combat-enhancing drugs like adrenaline, morphine, and an off-branch of methamphetamine, all of which aid in numbing pain, amplifying endurance and reaction time, but also heart rate. It is my belief that the stim encourages the production of ionized calcium by introducing transforming growth factor beta. When you receive an injury to your body rushes to fill the wound with platelets while simultaneously reducing blood flow and contracting local blood vessels. Once the initial bleeding has stopped, a protein known as fibrin floods in and begins forming a web, increasing the rigidity of the platelet structure. All of this is possible because of the clotting cascade, the process in which fibrinogen is converted into fibrin using thrombin made from prothrombin as a result of the prothrombin activator complex, which all needs ionized calcium, and none of this matters without the transforming growth factor beta. By introducing this early with the minimum of vitamins, minerals, building block proteins, we can engage hemostasis, priming it for injury recovery, resulting in the increased production of platelets and fibrin. I believe this all starts at boot camp, the very first time that you are forced to inject yourself with stim, priming your body for the combat that it is about to engage in. It is at this moment that your body is pushed to superhuman capabilities. In a war where your enemy surrounds you and they're bigger and deadlier than yourself, it pays to have superhuman blood clotting. Now, this is not to paint stims in any good light. They're as bad gets. The increase in fibrin and platelets and other clotting agents would thicken your blood to, I would argue, near paste, making your heart work hard, beyond hard, disgustingly hard, and the drugs will further increase your heart rate near tenfold. Your kidneys and liver would be worked to literal failure, both producing and filtering drugs, fiber, calcium, platelets, and many other harmful products introduced likely by the stim, and your own body being made to work in ways it was not intended for. The perfect drug for the disposable soldier. Thank you for watching all the way through, and a special thank you to my subscribers and members of the 1st Colonial Regiment. This video topic put me to the grind. I had to learn a lot about modern medical practices, chemistry, biology, the clotting cascade, and all the stages of healing, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. While none of these subjects on their own are difficult, together they make quite the difficult research project. So suffice it to say that this took a very long time to make, from start to finish. If you'd like to show your support, like and subscribe, and if you're looking for a good Helldivers clan, consider joining the 1st Colonial Regiment. The link is in the description. Otherwise, thank you, and I'll catch you in the next one.